I'm Kelly and this is Kelly Hill Yoga, 30 Days of Yoga, day 28. We are at the home stretch and today we are going to do a flexibility flow, kind of a full body flexibility, little bit of strength flow today. I'm super excited to show you this. I know I say that every single day. You probably get tired of it, but I just love doing this. I love giving something to you guys so you can feel good on your mat, and hopefully it kind of emanates into the rest of your lives. Just the beauty of yoga, spending time with yourself, practicing self-love, self-care. Anyways, when you are ready, we will get going with day 28. So let's meet in child's pose. And we're not going to do wide leg or our knees together. Let's just kind of have them about midway between what you would think is wide leg or our legs together. Just kind of whatever you think is middle. Our booty nice and rested on the heels. Walk the hands forward and rest the forehead on the mat. If you want, you can start this child's pose with your arms rested at your sides. It's just wherever you want to be today. If your arms are a little tired from this awesome sun salutation flow we did yesterday, I totally understand if you want to have them at your sides. But let's just bring ourselves to today, bring ourselves to this very moment on the mat, this minute. Be as present as possible, and do so by just pulling yourself to as far center of yourself as you can possibly get. Just natural breath. Really let your body relax into the earth. Melt with each exhale. Release any tension you might be holding in your face and your gaze. Release your jaw, your shoulders. It's important to not overthink trying to focus, right? Just let your breath guide you. Don't force anything. If you have to keep it as simple as telling yourself to inhale and exhale, do so. If you had your hands at your sides, let's bring them out in front of you to be outstretched. Press through the palms to gently lift the forehead off the mat. And then imagine you are pulling your hands back towards your knees as you guide your body, head, torso up and into tabletop. And then we're going to tuck the chin round through the spine, shift back to child's pose. So kind of just dragging our chest, not literally, just imagine we're pulling our chest, bending through the elbows, up and into cow. Exhale, roll through the spine, shift the hips back, child's pose. So just roll through a couple of these really awesome sequences, rounding and bending the spine as we move through this fluid movement, waking up the joints, especially the spine, and doing so through some natural movement by flexing, extending, stretching. Awesome. Last one. Bring the chest, really bend through, and then come to tabletop. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips, staying nice and strong. Really creating foundation. So really think about having those shoulders pulled down and away from the ears. Really press into the earth to find nice, strong stability. And then let's lift the left arm as we extend the right leg to the back of the room. Exhale, elbow to knee, rounding through the spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Beautiful. Inhale, extend. Last one. Bring the left hand down, keeping that right leg lifted. Shift into this side plank, keeping the right leg lifted. If you need to bring it down for stability in this modified side plank, you totally can. But let's keep that leg lifted if you want to just take it a little bit further. Nice and strong in our foundation. And then building strength, let's just come up onto the fingertips of our left hand. You can totally keep your palm on the ground too. That's okay. If you want to, you can come off the fingertips and try and balance, depending on where you're at in your practice today. So knowing it's okay. Also knowing to have a little bit of humility. If you can't quite have that balance, that's okay too. Just staying wherever you feel strong and stable. Gently lower that right hand back down into our tabletop. Beautiful. Let's take it to the other side. So resetting our foundation, press both hands into the earth. Inhale, reach the right arm out in front of us. Left leg extends. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Keep that left leg lifted. Bring the right arm down to the mat. Modified side plank. So if we need to bring that right leg out to kind of be a little bit stronger base, that's totally okay. Reach that left arm up and overhead, staying strong and lifted in that left leg. In this modified side plank, if you want, come up onto the fingertips. Stay strong and stable. Once again, if you want to play around with a little bit of balance by lifting that right hand, you totally can. Just playing around. Like I said, have some fun. If you fall out, that's totally okay. You don't know until you try, right? Exhale, gently bring everything back down to that tabletop. Shift the hips up and back to downward dog. Really waking ourselves up with this. This is our first downward dog of the day. Walk it out if you have to. So straighten in one leg as you bend the other. Nice and grounded through the thumb and index finger. Very similar to what we did with the child's pose and tabletop rolls. We're going to do so with plank. So we will shift to plank. Nice and strong. Press the earth away from us. Exhale, bend the knees. Shift the hips up and back to downward dog. Plank. Inhale, press the earth away. Exhale, bend the knees, shift the hips up and back. And just move through a few of these, trying to keep it beautiful and fluid. as much as you want or as little as you want. If you want to just hang out in child's pose, that's okay too. Taking a break whenever you need it. Go grab a glass of water if you have to. Plank, bend the knees, shift up and back, downward dog. Last one. Downward dog. Awesome. Let's reset our foundation by shifting the feet or hands back to that neutral, strong, stable downward dog. Inhale, reach that right leg up. Exhale, gently step between the hands. Runner's lunge. Inhale, rise to crescent. Really thinking about pulling that left hip forward, nice and strong. Exhale, lower both hands back down. Pivot on your back foot. If you need to shorten the distance between the back foot and the front, that's totally okay. So back foot parallel with the back edge of the mat. Straighten as much as you can in this front leg. And when we do so, by shifting the hips back to straighten in that front leg, really pulling your heart forward. If you have to have a nice bend in the knee, that's totally okay. Plant the right hand on your shin or ankle. Lift the left arm up, triangle. Beautiful. Gently lower that left hand back down, back to runner's lunge. Exhale, step back to downward dog. Awesome. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, gently step between the hands. Inhale, rise to crescent. Sink down into this posture, really keeping the hips square. Right hip pulled forward, left hip pulled back. Driving or keeping energy down the back of that right leg, pulling that heel, that lifted heel, to the back of the room. And then exhale, lower the hands down, pivot on the back foot so it's parallel to the back edge of the mat. Shorten your stance if you need to. Straighten in the front leg by shifting the hips back. Left hand on the shin or ankle. Reach your right arm up, triangle. Take the gaze up to that right thumb if you want, or keep your gaze down at your mat. That's totally okay. Hanging out here, really thinking about staying strong, keeping a micro bend in that left knee. Exhale, plant both hands back down and step back to downward dog. Inhale, take the gaze forward and step to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Just hanging out here for a moment. Waking up the back sides of the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, pull the crown of the head forward, really create space all along the sides of the neck. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, root to rise, arms up and overhead. Exhale, palms to chest. Awesome. Let's grab the right foot with your right hand, and like this quad stretch that you often see runners do before they stretch or do anything. Left hand comes up and overhead. You may stay here, staying nice and strong in your foundation, or if you like, you can shift forward, find your balance into this modified warrior 3, staying strong, knowing it's okay if you fall out. Gently rise back up, release that foot to meet the left. Inhale, arms up and overhead.
Exhale, palms to chest. Awesome. All right, let's inhale. Both arms up and overhead. Exhale. Take the left hand to the left foot. Quad stretch on this other side now. Really building that foundation, thinking long and strong in the right leg. Reach your right arm up and overhead. And you may stay here just to keep your balance. It's totally okay. If you want, if it's within your practice today, you may, which I don't know if this side's going to be in my practice today, you may shift forward in this modified warrior 3. Staying strong. Gently rise back up and release that foot back to the earth. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. Inhale, press the earth away from you. Exhale, chaturanga, inhale to up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Awesome. So inhale, right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, gently, knee to nose, step between the hands. Drop your back foot down about 45 degrees. Inhale, rise to warrior 1. So really thinking about pulling the left hip forward and squaring off the hips as much as possible. Ground through the whole left side of your left leg, or the outside of your left leg. Awesome. Let's clasp the hands behind our back. Really open up the heart. Exhale, hinge at the hips and either rest yourself on this front leg, or if you like, you can take it below, just wherever you feel like you're strong and stable in this humble warrior. Staying here for a few rounds of breath, just staying strong. Let's release that bind with the hands as we rise back up to warrior 1. Straighten in the front leg. Kind of do this nice side stretch. Let's pivot on that back foot so it's now parallel to the back edge of the mat. And then we will bend our right knee, coming into warrior 2, bringing the right elbow to rest on the right knee, side angle. Not dumping anything on this arm that's rested on our right knee. So our left arm is reaching up and overhead. Really feel an amazing stretch on the left side of our body. Heart trying to reach forward and up. Staying strong and stable in that right shoulder. Beautiful. Exhale, lower both hands back down, runner's lunge. Shift back to downward dog. Nice energy we have built up right now. Embrace it. Feel good. Let's shake the head. Just release any of the tension within this practice we might be holding there. Find stillness in this down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Gently step between the hands. Pivot on the back foot. Inhale, rise to warrior 1. If you need to shorten your stance in this warrior 1, it's totally okay. So your back foot's about 45 degrees. Strong and stable, really pulling that right hip forward. Let's bring the hands to clasp behind our back as we shift, hinging at the hips, shift the torso forward. Humble warrior. If this arm bind is too much, it's totally okay if you just want to have your hands at your hips or keep them just at your low back, tailbone. Just play around, don't force anything, don't tweak anything, especially when it comes to an arm bind. A few rounds of breath, stay really strong. Keep thinking about staying activated down the whole side of your back leg, really grounded. Awesome. Release that bind. Arms up and reach as we straighten in this front leg. Reach back with the right. Left arm up and overhead. Nice little side bend. Exhale. Rebend in that front knee. Shifting the back foot to a warrior two stance. So this back foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat as we sink down into side angle. So our left arm will be balanced on our left leg. Right arm reaches up and overhead. And you can do this with warrior one legs, but sometimes it's nice to have that parallel, a little bit more broader stance in the back foot. This posture, don't dump anywhere. Let's keep length and space in both sides of the body. Awesome. Exhale. Lower everything down and step back to downward dog. From this downward dog, one last moment of stillness. So inhale, really reach the hips up. Exhale, lower down to the knees. We're going to do a wide leg stretch. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, this is about as wide as my legs get, and that's totally okay. I used to beat myself up over it, but everybody's different. It's totally okay. So legs as wide as you can get them without causing any undue stress. Just in a comfortable posture, tall up through the crown of the head. Reach your left arm up and over, getting a side body stretch in the left side. Staying here, riding that wave of energy downstream. And then let's take the left hand and kind of turn our body to get a stretch more in our low back and hip. So almost facing, or we are facing our right foot now. Awesome. Let's walk the hands over to the left and then reaching up and overhead with that right arm. Nice side body stretch in the right side. Really stay grounded in that right glute. And then lower that right hand to face your left foot. Just kind of changing the angle of how we're stretching. Awesome. Let's walk the hands to the middle and just do a nice stretch down the middle of our legs. Keep activated through your feet, so wiggle those toes just so we're not keeping aware, or so we are keeping awareness everywhere. And think about pulling your chest forward. It's not necessarily rounding through the spine, although there is a little bit of it. It's really trying to hinge at the hips. Let's gently walk the hands back towards the pelvis. Rise up through the crown of the head. Grab the outsides of your thighs to help the legs come in. And then let's just windshield wiper them real quick from side to side, kind of releasing the hips and any tension. And then let's roll to our back. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh, grabbing either the back of that left thigh or shin for a supine pigeon. And just keep that right foot activated. It just makes the knee joint a little bit more stable. Doesn't necessarily have to be super flexed, but just keeping it activated. Awesome, let's release that and cross the left ankle over the right thigh for supine pigeon on this right side. And wowza, my left side is super tight right now. Just really thinking about having that knee press away if you can do so with your elbow. So pressing that knee away as you pull your right leg towards you. Gently release that. And then let's extend the left leg, bring the right knee into the chest. And then we will cross it over to the left for supine twist. Reach out to the right with that right hand. Take your gaze to the right hand. Releasing that low back. Twists are fantastic at getting your digestion moving too. Not that we spent the focus of our practice today on that, but just a little, the more you know, right? Have one of those little rainbow stars fly over my head. Bring everything back to neutral. Extend the right leg. Bring that left knee into your chest. And then let's transition over to the right side. Take the left hand, reach that left arm out, and take the gaze out to that left hand. If you want to deepen this, you can take your opposite hand, place it on that knee that's crossed over, and just gently guide it towards the earth. But it's also nice to just let gravity do the work. Let that leg hang down to really feel a fantastic stretch in our low back and hip. Let's bring everything back to center. Hug both knees into the chest, really squeezing them in. Grab the outsides of the feet as we bring the elbows inside the knees. Happy baby. Think about grounding that low back by pulling the feet down towards the earth as we lift the heels to heaven. So just like this counter move to really feel grounded. And this is the time where if you need to add any little bits to your practice today, if you need to add any postures, moves, shimmies or shakes, you're more than welcome to. Or if you want to extend in one leg or the other, it's your choice. And then gently release that happy baby. Extend both legs out in front of you as we set up for Shavasana. So just tuck your shoulders and then let them fall to the earth. Slight tuck of the chin, long up through the crown of the head. So the back of the neck is nice and long. And just let your feet, let's just take them a little bit wider today. And then just let our feet fall to the side. Let's use the breath to ride the rest of this wave of relaxation we have going on right now. Keep yourself present, this moment of this second, on your mat. Use each breath to relax. Relax your tongue, your gaze, your jaw. Release your shoulders. When you're ready, start to wiggle. Move your head from side to side, shift the legs, wiggle the hips. Or if you want to stay in Shavasana, you totally can. Roll to one side or the other, it does not matter. Push up to a seated posture as we close out our practice for today in this nice easy pose. Hands at our heart. Close the eyes, soften the gaze, height up through the crown of the head, head over heart. Take that moment that we do for gratitude, for the ability to be as present as possible for yourself. And just know it's never selfish to practice self-care. It can be beautiful and uplifting. As always, thank you so much for practicing with me today. Day 28. We only have 2 more days. And I will see you tomorrow for day 29. As always, thank you. I love you. please do not forget to hit that like button or subscribe so you can be notified when these videos get released. And also, so once we move past this 30 days, we can still keep this fun, amazing relationship together and still practice together at home together. So please, please, please hit that like button and subscribe to Kelly Hill Yoga. Your love is so much appreciated. Have a great day.